Leslie H. Sabo Jr. will be posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions during the Vietnam War. His story defined on what he did on May 10, 1970 in Cambodia. But the story of who he was and where he came from begins in Hungary.
In 1944, my parents left Hungary because the Russian army was coming into Hungary, and they escaped to Austria.
The younger of two boys, Leslie was born in Austria in 1948. About a year later, the Sabo family was headed to Australia for the promise of free land, but then fate intervened.
I had the whooping coughs, and we were quarantined, and the boat to Australia sailed.
The next available transport out of Austria was to the United States.
And so we came to this country. My brother was 2 years old, and I was 6.
The family eventually wound up in Elwood City, Pennsylvania, and both George and Leslie became naturalized citizens.
And this became our country, and my father instilled in us the pride of being an American.
In 1969, the family that had escaped war in Europe now had their son Leslie being drafted into the Army, and later that year, he was headed to Vietnam.
You know, we were all very, very nervous about him going to Vietnam. But he seemed to accept the fact that that's what he was supposed to do.
Throughout his time there, Leslie wrote to his family.
Most of his letters was not to worry us. And that was kind of the way he was.
Nearly 42 years after his death, the memories of losing Leslie are here again.
Your wounds are opened again, not as deeply as they were the first time, but they're still opened again. This time, though, we can also celebrate.